About 5 years ago, I knew that something had to change. Now, at that time, I was extremely hungry, extremely unhappy, and extremely ready for a change, a big one. So I would seek out some people, do a bit of digging, see what they're up to, and I would try to invite them to start this mastermind idea where you bring together people to try to achieve your goals. Now, in one particular mastermind, there was this guy that, from the outside, seemed like he was the same as me. He seemed ambitious, he seemed like he dreamed big, and he seemed like he was making things happen and that he was going to make things happen. We both talked about having that massive vision for the future, about going to all these spots once we had quit our jobs and doing whatever the hell we wanted, and so on. But within a month or two, I realized that there was a huge difference between us. Whereas I'd get advice and implement it the same week, he wouldn't. He would always be overthinking and second-guessing himself. Yeah, this business sounds cool, but, well, I could go down this path, but what if I'm missing something important? I mean, maybe I'll take this job temporarily and just see what happens. But the big difference was that he was caught all in thinking and almost none in action. Now, what was interesting to me was that after 100 days, we did a check-in. And in my life, I had started a business and then I ditched it, realizing I wasn't really passionate about it. And then I started another. The other guy. He had exactly zero to show in the real world about what he'd done. He went on some long-winded explanation about his doubts, his concerns, and his fears, but at the end of the day, he had nothing to show for it. And you know what the most haunting part is? After 5 years later, that guy was still stuck in a job. He was still having all these business ideas, but not implementing anything to change his life. He still wanted a business, and he still virtually lived in the same area and did the same thing every day. And in my own life, despite being confused as all hell and making all those mistakes I was afraid I would make, I just forced myself to act. And as a result, in those 5 years, I had 2 books written, and the royalties alone pay for way more than my living expenses. I have a modestly successful online business, and I quit my job. I traveled to 2 new countries per year, and I finally found the thing I love the most in the world. That's my calling in life, Chinese medicine. And that's what I'm doing every day. The point here is not to compare us, but to illustrate a powerful difference. Both of us had no goddamn clue how to reach our goals. That's important to remember. Both of us had the same inborn genetic potential to go do something or go do big things. But ultimately, it came down to who did the work, who took the imperfect action, who thought but then did, that mattered. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Go do something.